Viktor Gyokeres, a make weight for Julian Alavrez transfer to Arsenal. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Remember, we are powered by Think Landscaping, a company that designs, plans and transforms your outdoor spaces into your elite world-class look there for you. So if at all you feel like you have an outdoor space, a garden, a compound, please go ahead and contact them on those numbers and the rest will be history. Rokani David is in here. And I would like to let you know that we're here to push this to where it deserves to be. And this is where we are right now. And Think Landscaping are turning things around in here to a beautiful channel. So please feel free to go into the comment section and feel free to go and call them on those numbers. Now let's get into the business. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers into this before by the way this month ends. Can we really speed up? You know, for me, I'm speeding up giving you content, but you are not reciprocating the love. What's wrong with you? But people in there for you. But I want to let you know that I thank everyone for being part of this. But let's head into the deal of Julian Alavrez. Julian Alavrez is the talk about town, if I must say. Talk about town. And I think it's the most controversial deal that everyone is looking at. And after Barcelona put in that bid of 100 million euros got rejected, Real Madrid came in through with 150 million euros. They were like, no way, we are not selling the player to La Liga teams unless otherwise you trigger his release clause of 500 million euros. But outside the La Liga, we can sell. That is it. And they are willing to sell. So what is happening right about now? The Julian Alavrez story has gone ahead to pick momentum. Now, let me obviously build up. You know, there are a series of stories that started coming in through the 15th after the World Cup, and now where we are. Now, we had like a fourth tier source telling us that you can call him a Viktor, telling us that Arsenal are back in for Julian Alavrez. That's what he told us, and that's what he posted only, that Arsenal are back in the Julian Alavrez deal. You understand? And after him telling us that Arsenal are really back, guess who followed up with a post? It is Jacques Ben. Arsenal also continue to explore Julian Alavrez. Player has made no secret of his desire to join Barcelona. But Andrea Bartha is also in contact with former club Atletico Madrid. Although Atletico Madrid don't wish to sell, they are currently more inclined to do business with a non-La Liga rival. Barcelona haven't ruled out making a new bid, though there are provisions for select UEFA Champions League clubs to secure Julian Alavrez for less than 500 million euro release clause. So, you know, you've heard everything. I shouldn't explain it because I've been here explaining all that about Julian Alavrez. Now, Fabrizio Romano coming up and telling us that Arsenal are ready to move for Atletico Madrid striker Julian Alavrez if any opportunity emerges this summer. The Gunners are closely monitoring his situation as the tensions continue between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona over his future. Atletico value Julian Alavrez at 130 million euros, while the striker is open to Arsenal if a move to Barcelona cannot happen. Have you heard that? Julian Alavrez is open to joining Arsenal if a move to Barcelona doesn't happen. What else do you need? What else do you want? Julian Alavrez is open to joining Arsenal if a move to Barcelona doesn't come to materialization. Obviously, now, with lots of things happening, obviously, Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously find a way to obviously do the needful and really satisfy Atletico Madrid. And what have they told us? They've told us the following, that in the last weeks, Atletico Madrid reached an agreement with Arsenal to sell Julian Alavrez for 50 million euros plus Viktor Gyokeres. Arsenal hasn't reached an agreement with Julian Alavrez on personal terms, as he only wants Barcelona and wants Atletico Madrid to keep a promise they made. Now, Here, I want to only take out this Julian Alvarez, Viktor Gyokeres in there for you. Now, this takes us to a level that Gyokeres, who signed Arsenal for last season, came in through and netted, I think, is it 20 goals in there for you? 21 goals in there for you. Arsenal want to let him go to Atletico Madrid as a make weight. You understand? To obviously get in a man known as Julian Alvarez. Now, this has left Arsenal fans with a divided opinion. Let's obviously talk of those that think it's a right move to make. First and foremost, one, Julian Alvarez is younger than Viktor Gyokeres. That is it. There is no doubt about it. Alvarez, I tell you, Julian Alvarez is younger than this guy. When you check on the age of Julian Alvarez, Alvarez is 26. Gyokeres, Viktor Gyokeres is just 28. So there is a 2-year difference in there for you. You understand? So that means you are bringing in a Julian Alvarez who is really younger than this guy. Let's obviously go to another one. Julian Alvarez is an all-round striker and he's a multi-dimensional player. He can play as a left forward, he can play as a center forward, he can play as a number 10, he can play as a right forward. And for Viktor Gyokeres, he can only help you when he's leading the line, meaning that with the dynamism that Arteta wants on his team, Julian Alvarez ticks all the boxes in there for you. So that is it for a side known as Julian Alvarez. Then, Alvarez to me is a better finisher than Viktor Gyokeres. I've seen Julian Alvarez finish. You understand? His skill set, this one doesn't have it. By the way, there are very many advantages that Julian Alvarez has over a player known as Viktor Gyokeres. But there are those Arsenal fans who are like, will he hit the ground running? Will he do the needful? And let me tell you, if you think that Julian Alvarez cannot hit the ground running, then Premier League is not meant for you. If he came in through into a City side that was really competitive, and he was coming in from River Plate, zero European football experience, and was coming in from Argentina, came in through and obviously put in those 2 seasons that he put out at Man City, do you expect him not to hit the ground running at the club of Arsenal? Because in his, I think in his first Premier League side, the number of goals, were they even, in his season, I think he had 20 goals plus in that season. In his last season, 11 goals and 9 assists. You understand? In the Champions League, 5 goals and 2 assists. Now, he even has assists onto his big contribution in there for you. So I want to let you know that Julian Alvarez is an upgrade of Viktor Gyokeres. And for me, if you are getting Julian Alvarez in, plus if you're getting in Julian Alvarez in, and for Arsenal, you are getting 50 million euros plus Gyokeres, I think it's okay. That means Gyokeres is valued at 70, 80 million euros there for you. And you've gone ahead, obviously, getting a very beautiful deal for you or yourself in there for you as Arsenal. And I think this is a must deal. This is a must do done for the club of Arsenal. If Arsenal wants to go ahead and really protect its title, there are 2 signings they should make: Bruno Guimaraes and Julian Alvarez. Those 2 are really very, very important for the club of Arsenal. Gyokeres, I had high spirits for him, or high expectations for him in the coming season, that with the coming in for people like Tollis, who will obviously create chances for him, he might really score like 30 Premier League goals in there for you. And Odegaard looked like he had obviously gotten to know more about him and will release him more and more and more and more and more, meaning that the creativity is obviously going to be high and increasing. I do believe that the best to do is to obviously back off that and look at Julian Alvarez coming in through at the club of Arsenal. And let me tell you this, Julian Alvarez is a free kick specialist. Free kick specialist. Free kick specialist. So he has very many attributes. And for every Arsenal fan who thinks that that's not a business it's supposed to be doing, I think you just lost. I respect your opinion, but if we are to look at the best of the best, man, we have to obviously get this out of the way. And how do we get this out of the way? By getting Gyokeres out and getting Julian Alavrez. Though for me, the best case scenario is to have these two at the team. That is the best case scenario for me, having these two at the team of Arsenal. Gyokeres competing with a man known as Julian Alavrez. Obviously, the competition will be intense, and obviously, Arsenal will be the biggest beneficiary of their competition, because whoever will be coming onto the pitch, he'll be like, let me do all what I'm supposed to be doing in there for you. So I don't want to come out here and really let you know that it is really one of those things that some Arsenal fans really like, but it's a deal that is supposed to be doing. And I think I've come to my understanding that it's the reason as to why the side of Arsenal have not obviously let Gabriel Jesus leave. Because if you bring in Julian Alavrez, you might be looking at Gabriel Jesus as your second striker. You understand? And they do have Mikel Merino. He can do the job. Kai Havertz can do the job. So I think there is no need to obviously get in another striker if at all Viktor Gyokeres really leaves the club of Arsenal. But where does this leave Viktor Gyokeres? One season in at Arsenal, winning the Premier League, and then you go to the La Liga. I don't think that it will be the best experience for him at the club of Arsenal. Though the club Arsenal has its own interests, and there is no player who can surpass the interest of the club. The club will come and tell you, it's we who brought you here. You've had one good season with us, but we want to take you to Atletico Madrid, where you've been promised to play game in, game out. Atletico Madrid have also just gone ahead to announce a player. What's his name? I forgot. Is it Lee Kang-in? Lee Kang-in. You know, he's called Kang-in Lee. Lee Kang-in, you know. And it's official. Atletico Madrid have gone ahead to obviously announce that he's in. Meaning that they've gone ahead to obviously bring in a player who is really Lee Kang-in. I think he plays as a center forward, and he can also play as a winger or a wide forward. So they might be looking out for special qualities in a striker who is an all-out striker, and I think Viktor Gyokeres best suits that side. And when you look at Lee Kang-in, they say he can play as a left forward, right forward, and central attacking midfielder, and is a left-footed player from from PSG, meaning that if they lose this guy, they'll be left with only Soloth of Netherlands, and Gyokeres coming in through will obviously be the ideal man to obviously go ahead and really do the job. I think Viktor Gyokeres best suits the style of play of Atletico Madrid. That is it. He's physical. He can run. He busts into space. You know, they can really release him on time to see to it that he really does the needful there for you. And he's a typical number 9. By the way, when you see the typical number 9s that this guy has gone ahead to use, they've gone ahead to score very many goals. But for Julian Alavrez, him being a typical number 9, he has these attributes of obviously being a mobile striker, like go drop into the midfield, go to the left, go to the right, and then come back to the center. But the beauty of him is that even when he's that mobile, each and every time you put the ball in the teenage box area, it will find him there as a Julian Alavrez. So Arsenal want this player, and the deal is on the table. And I don't know what your thoughts are about the deal. They're like, we get you a Julian Alavrez, right? But 50 million euros plus Gyokeres. Arsenal fans, I want to have your say. How many of you will sanction such a deal to happen at a club of Arsenal? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. This is the third video of the day. and hope you guys are really having super fun. This is what we do on a daily, on a beautiful channel in here. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 29,600 subscribers, and we're not far off from hitting 29,600. You know, we are 28 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So please go into the lower left bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto a beautiful channel, and then the rest will be history. So please, let's grow this family. Let's grow this family. I'm giving you content, and do the needful and reciprocate the love to me. Not so? I think I'm worth it. And do the needful and subscribe. Lots of news coming in through from different clubs. I think our next video might be of a Bruno Gyokeres or Nusa, you know, who is on the market right now, and very many big clubs are looking at him. Rokani David is my name. I'm out.